Very impressive price action coming out of AMC despite the downturn that we actually faced in the broader markets. Let's go ahead and touch on the details for the potentials for tomorrow's trading session. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this Thursday. This is ARCa coming at you with an AMC technicals and raw price action thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, so as we speak, we're actually getting some bearish price action here on the 8-hour chart, of which is actually quite important because I would like to express the dangers of printing another iteration of a bearish engulfing candle formation. Okay, so we definitely don't want to close this 8-hour candle, which would essentially be done in about 28 minutes. Okay, so we definitely don't want to close this as a bearish engulfing, and the reason why I say that is because we're going to face a little bit of downside if that does happen. Please go ahead and notice right over here that we actually had a bearish engulfing candle as well, or formation, sorry, and we actually did face that downside before a bounce. Okay, so if that's the case, then let it be, because we would essentially have to come back down and validate or continue validating our newly converted what was a resistance into now an acting support before a continuation onto the upside. So in that case, I guess that's entirely fine, but then you would also, you know, be facing risk to continue onto the downside. The good thing is here is that in an inverse manner from a larger term time frame fib, we absolutely still have the 2.272 at $4.94 to save us alongside this newly converted resistance into now a support. Okay, so things are looking okay in this manner. Referencing volatility versus momentum on the 8-hour, it looks like we're still pivoted towards that upside, but in those 27 minutes when they're done, we're essentially going to see what it has done to the momentum averages and also the volatility component and moving average here. Okay, please remember volatility is direction neutral. We pair this with stochastic momentum so that we can be able to gauge that direction bias. Okay, so it's still pivoted towards the upside, favoring the bulls, and actually the 14-day simple moving average, represented by the K% moving average in stochastic momentum, is now entering the bullish control zone. So this is actually a pretty good thing as well. Okay, you guys, so the shorter term time frame, 3-day exponential moving average, represented by the D%, will still have to catch up onto this, but it's looking not bad. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart and see what we have in store for AMC. Okay, so this is regarding the daily price action here. This is what we're looking at here is actually on the daily printing a very large indecision candle. So this is called a spinning top doji. Okay, so that usually means that there's been a tie, if you will, between the bears and the bulls for the day, for the trading session, right? So as you can see here on post, that means that it's after hours trading at $5.16, currently sitting right over here. It's finding the support from not only this candle here, but it's finding the support from the low of this wick here, also from the high of this wick here, and also from the high of this wick here, and the low of this candle, and the low of this wick. Okay, so there is a pretty strong area here. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually ended up coming just slightly lower to about $5.09 in the after-hour session, but that would essentially give us that risk about the 8-hour bearish engulfing. Okay, but if it does print, it's okay. Like I said, we definitely can come back and validate that newly converted resistance into support that we were referencing right over here regarding this ascending channel. Okay, so yes, we need to make sure that we can actually validate this and then continue on to the upside, even if we have already done that today once. Okay, so if it needs to be done again, then so be it. Let's get it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the last part of actually not the last part of the analysis. I want to touch on the fact that we were actually looking at the enhanced MACD, the ARC enhanced MACD, which is actually represented by this right over here, which is momentum versus volatility packaged in one indicator. Guys, please go ahead and send me a DM if you are interested in acquiring these indicators. Okay, so you would be getting a total of about 8 indicators indicators in the package. And yeah, so just go ahead and send me a DM and we'll go over the subscription packages. Okay, so please notice that we did get that bull signal printed here on the 4-hour, and we did essentially move on to the upside per the enhanced MACD. So volatility represented by the Bollinger Band's red cloud, and momentum represented by the moving average of the MACD itself, also featuring bear and bull signals, okay, for the change of direction. I do want to point out here that on the 4-hour time frame, we are actually looking at a little bit of just slight weakness here. The good thing is that we're coming from contraction, meaning that it got really tight, right? And we're starting to expand. Okay, so this is a good thing still. The upside is still being favored. The bulls are still being favored, but we must maintain our posture. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the last part of the analysis, which will be the RSI. Okay, you guys, so please go ahead and pay attention to the RSI signal being the purple line and the moving average represented by this pink line. Okay, 14-day simple moving average. All right, so we do have an upside bias here, although as soon as we do enter into this following zone, which would be the bull weakness percentile, we would be faced with resistance from not only the 14-day simple, but also the gravitational zone of the 30-minute bull weakness percentile. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the bi-hourly and see what we got. Okay, so bi-hourly is making a bearish cross right now below that 14-day simple moving average. We are very close to the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which would essentially pressure us back up. But we would need to validate this first with the 30-minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see what happens with that. We're getting a little bit of sideways trading here, and slightly bullish too on the 6-hour time frame. Now it's slightly bullish because we do have that 14-day simple pivoted slightly to the upside, and also we're sitting in the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, okay, which would essentially bring us back up. But if this doesn't actually pivot towards the upside a little stronger, then we're actually going to be facing what happened here, just sideways trading, up and down and up and down. It looks a little pensive right now, even still, and that's in it is in reference to the broader markets. We did get a 6% read on the PPI, so when we were expecting, I think, a 5.4. And also the previous CPI read came in at a 6.4, I believe. So if we got a 6 point, I think actually we got a 6 point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not really following those fundamental metrics, guys, but the overall sentiment didn't like the fact that we didn't meet the expectations. However, we're still good because we did move down on the numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. The 12-hour time frame is still suggesting some sideways trading as well. Slightly bearish here because the 14-day simple is still pivoted towards that downside, and slightly bullish here because we are still within that gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile on the RSI signal. Okay, so now the daily time frame is suggesting slightly bullish activity here, but please notice that the 14-day simple moving average is above us, which would essentially serve as resistance alongside that gravitational pull of the bull weakness percentile. So we would essentially face this type of price action here if we don't succeed one of those moving averages. I'm sorry, either the gravitational zone. I'm sorry, both of them actually. I don't know what I was just saying right there. So yeah, we would actually have to succeed both of the moving average and the gravitational zone. Okay, so in this case, the weekly time frame is not something that we want to look at yet, although it is bullish and suggesting a continuation to the upside even still, right? So very important here on the 5-day time frame that we have used that 14-day simple moving average, and is still suggesting an upside continuation, which is very much in respects to the losing of the bear strength here, and also here on the 12-hour, and also here on the daily, right? So yeah, everything is still looking good for AMC. I honestly do think that we have some validations to continue, verifying for the coming price action before we can actually make that upside continuation. Okay, you guys. So very good thing here is that in 20 minutes this candle is going to close, and now it looks like we're away from this being that potential bullish, bearish engulfing, right? So this is definitely good. All right, you guys. So please go ahead and refer to the links in the description below if you would like to reach out to me via Twitter or DM on Discord. Okay, you guys. Please know not to fall for any of those. Comments below that are saying to WhatsApp me and to and to, give me your account and the helpline and text me. Guys, that's not me. Please rest assured that those are a bunch of crooks trying to take your liquidity and hard-earned cash. Okay, do not by any means do not contact them or respond to them or interact to them whatsoever. Okay, you guys, there's a lot of crooked people out there, and I would like for you to just be as safe as you can. Okay, stay away from those people. All right, you guys. And I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. And yeah, so I wish you well. I wish you a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.